Organizational development, organizational systems, thinking about systems that we live and breathe in are endlessly fascinating because they're endlessly changing. There are an endless amount of moving parts, which means that the work is unbelievably complex. And so building a skill set to enable people to live and breathe and facilitate positive results in a system that is constantly moving and constantly changing is what this work is about. And so leadership skill training in how to facilitate dialogue and discussion when people are coming from many different vantage points is one of the skill sets. Given that there's so many different vantage points, there's going to be conflict all the time. So what are the skill sets that move people from affective conflict, which means it's getting personal, it's getting ugly, and now we have all kinds of negative subtext going on, versus how do we facilitate all of these moving parts so that instead of conflict, it's positive energy. We know how to engage in cognitive debate that's healthy, that's respectful, that is interested in coming from a place of understanding as opposed to judgment. Organizational skill sets that have to do with making decisions and making decisions that stay made. Organizational skills that have to do with acknowledging different learning styles and different perspectives. And knowing that the more diverse a set of perspectives we can have, the better, the richer, the deeper the conversation can be. So that just because you're part of a team doesn't mean you know how to be a part of a team. So looking at the dysfunctions of teams, looking at how to support and diagnose teams that aren't working at their highest capacity so that they do. That's part of this work. Looking at resistant behaviors and how we embrace resistance as an opportunity to learn from that particular point of view, to listen well, and then how do we reframe resistance as healthy skepticism, and what are the strategies to bring resistant people onto our side to be our new best friend and figure out how to move them along. Organizational system work requires negotiation strategies. How do we negotiate with people who don't choose to negotiate? How do we negotiate with people who have very strong belief systems and agendas that are deeply personal to them? In addition, looking at dysfunctions of backgrounds of people. One of the challenges in working with adults is that everybody shows up with broken pieces. All of those broken pieces are floating around in this system. The big question really that fuels organizational development would be, in what ways could you support every member of your organization individually so that individually they work at their highest level, and interdependently, so every team, every group, every department works at their highest level of capacity.